China's large-scale war games around Taiwan have come to an end. The People's Liberation Army says it has completed various tasks around the island after a week of air and sea drills. But it warns it will continue to patrol the region or reinforce its claim over that territory. Beijing has released a new white paper on Taiwan. It blames the island's ruling Democratic Progressive Party and the United States for instigating separatist forces. And in what does appear to be a shift in China's policy, it has withdrawn a promise not to send troops or personnel to Taiwan following unification.
Chinese fighter jets and warships marking their presence in the Taiwan Strait. Around 20 vessels from both sides faced off again in the waters close to the unofficial median line between the mainland and Taiwan. Days of unprecedented military drills by China appear to have ended, but Beijing is keeping up pressure on the island, warning the PLA will continue with regular combat drills in the region. The Eastern Theater Command says it'll monitor changes to the situation in the Taiwan Strait. Responding to Beijing's actions, Taipei again conducted its own military exercises in preparation for a potential attack. Despite the escalation in tensions, Taiwanese residents doubt that a war is imminent.
China threatens to Taiwan is all the time, and Taiwan have to face the question about the China whether the threatens to our connection to the international society or whether just the China's military threatens to Taiwan. It's a question that we have to face.
我觉得在台湾，我们其实对于现在的情势没有比较特别的感觉，就目前还不是说特别紧张，因为就是对我们现在来说，我们每天的生活都还是一样照往常，对我们来说没有什么比较特别的事会发生。
China launched a series of live fire exercises in 6 zones around Taiwan last Thursday to retaliate to U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to the island. The PLA fired several missiles over the island, and Taipei claims the exercise was a rehearsal for an invasion.
And for more, Olivia Xiong joins us live from Beijing. Olivia, what more can you tell us about China's announcement that it is completing its drills in the Taiwan Strait? Are they truly over?
Well, it would seem that these week-long drills that have taken place around Taiwan have come to some sort of conclusion for now. A short while ago, we saw the spokesperson of the military's Eastern Theater Command appear for the first time on national TV during its primetime broadcast, announcing that the military had successfully completed various missions around Taiwan and effectively tested the troops' joint operation combat capacity, a warning also in his statement that the military will be keeping an eye on changes in the Taiwan Strait, that it will continue to train and prepare for war and resolutely uphold China's sovereignty, adding that China will continue to conduct routine combat readiness patrols in the waters around Taiwan. Now, the Defense Ministry also weighing in, saying that at this juncture, it is up to the Taiwan authorities to decide on what choice they make when it comes to cross-strait relations. Now, the context of these has been these unprecedented military drills that have been taking place, originally scheduled to only last 4 days, but they were then extended as China continues to be infuriated by that controversial visit by U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to Taiwan and the ensuing criticism that it has received from Washington and its partners over these military drills. Here's what the Foreign Ministry had to say today.
对于美方侵犯中国主权、干涉中国内政的严重挑衅行径，只要美方做一次，中方就必定坚决斗争一次，绝不允许中国主权和领土完整受到肆意践踏和破坏。
The bigger question also is what's happening with broader China-US relations. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, in comments made after meeting his counterparts from South Korea, Mongolia, and Nepal, said that the situation in the Taiwan Strait is still developing, warning that China has to remain alert to three dangers. One of them, he said, is the US unwillingness to lose, increasing military deployment in the region and creating a bigger crisis. All this, he said, could seriously undermine the political foundations in which engagement with China can take place.
Now, Olivia, let's look at this latest white paper on Taiwan. Earlier we mentioned, for example, there could be a shift in policy because in this paper, China withdraws its earlier promise not to send troops or personnel to Taiwan following unification. Now, all we know is what we see in this paper. If you look at the language, reading between the lines there, do you see China's approach to Taiwan changing?
Well, perhaps first we can start off by looking for clues. One of the big clues here is we look at the title of this white paper, right? It's called The Taiwan Question and China's Reunification in the New Era. Reunification being seen as a critical part of what China says is its national rejuvenation. And the words new era very closely tied with Chinese President Xi Jinping. And this is particularly important at this point in time this year as we await that twice-a-decade party congress that we are expecting very soon in the fall, where President Xi is expected to be granted that unprecedented third term in power. So this paper, very timely, China not wanting to appear weak and putting down its position in black and white in this official document. The tone on the one hand, conciliatory, we see that China is saying that it's willing to create a vast space for peaceful reunification, that it will exert its utmost efforts to do this, but also that very stark warning that it will leave no room for separatist activities in any form, it says, maintaining the language that it has used, that it does not renounce the use of force to bring Taiwan under its control, also saying that even though the use of force will be its last resort, but this will only be and that the use of force will only be the last resort, rather, under compelling circumstances. The big question, though, is what exactly are these compelling circumstances that has not been spelled out? There have also been questions. What has also been noteworthy is if we compare this particular white paper with the two other previous white papers on Taiwan issued in 1993 and the year 2000. In the past, there was reference to one country, two systems as the model that China wanted to have to govern Taiwan. But we see being omitted in this recent paper that this time round, it does not say that Beijing will not send troops or administrators to the island. That has been left out, and possibly this indicating a tougher stance that may be taken under President Xi.
Oh, thanks. That's CNA's Liver Xiong reporting live to us there from Beijing. Britain is officially asking China to explain its actions toward Taiwan. Foreign Secretary Liz Truss has summoned China's ambassador to Beijing, Zheng Zeguang. She wants answers to what she describes as Beijing's increasingly aggressive behavior and rhetoric, which she says threaten peace and stability in the region.
China has urged Australia to handle the Taiwan question with caution, as ties between the two countries remain rocky. Now, Beijing's ambassador to Canberra says more needs to be done to reset the relationship.
We hope that Australian side could take China-Australia relations with serious attitude. Take the One China principle seriously. Handle the Taiwan question with caution, but without discount.
Relations between the two countries have soured in recent years over trade and the origins of COVID-19. The Chinese official said that the new Australian government had made a good start to its relationship. But he was surprised that Canberra had joined the United States and Japan in condemning China's firing of missiles over Taiwan last week. Both Chinese President Xi Jinping and Prime Minister of Australia Anthony Albanese, they're set to attend the G20 summit in Bali. That's in November. China says that it will discuss with Australia whether conditions are right for the two leaders to meet in Indonesia.